Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play King's Quest II for the Apple II. If you're wondering why I have a different message at the bottom, that's because when I ended the last part, for some reason I accidentally pressed a key that I shouldn't have and it restarted the whole game. Thankfully, I managed to save my progress pretty much right there within Dracula's castle. I was getting stuff done. That was because of the whole maintenance man visit from the last video, which I did cut out. And it's a good thing I did, because I didn't have to redo very much stuff to get back here. And I realized that you can just press escape to actually pause the game, which is good. So last time we were in Dracula's castle. We found everything that we could. We killed Dracula, of course, and we have the third gold key, and all we have to do now is just cross the bridge, unlock the third door, and see what's behind it. Given that we can only cross the bridge one more time without it breaking, there's got to be something behind that third door. There's got to be some place that we can go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to where we need to go. So we don't have a lot of points left to grab. I have 155 out of a possible 185. And we need to go and change discs again. Now it is time to go north, and then we should be able to head to the east where the doors are. There's only one place we can go anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and go over there. Also, I want to be careful because I'm pretty sure the dwarf is going to pop up on me one more time. Let's see if that happens. He says as it happens. Thankfully, I got over here before he could touch me. He can't touch me here. As long as you're one screen in more than, or as long as you're in more than one screen in any direction from the dwarf's area or any area where you will meet a bad guy, or if you're more than one space away from somebody's lair, they can't get you. If you're a space in any direction within a lair, they can. Should be noted. But of course, that's probably why you saw me stay near the screen most of the time in those areas anyway. And now it is time to go to this door. What was the inscription again? Maybe I can still make heads or tails of it now. Whoever chooses to seek the last key must have a stout heart. That's still pretty vague, but given that you had to go somewhere for the first key and somewhere for the second key, underwater for the first, up high for the second, and the castle was the only place you could go, yeah, it was just process of elimination. So you kind of had to figure it out the hard way, but even then it wasn't really that hard. But anyway, let's go ahead and unlock the door. The key to the third door fits easily into the keyhole. You turn the key and presto, the door opens, and again the key disappears, revealing a world unlike any you've ever seen before. You gain 7 points. And we're entering disc 3 now. This is interesting. So here we are in this strange new world. We are now outside of Kalima. Or maybe we're in Kalima, who knows? Let's look around. The sand on the sparkling beach is a deep blue. The bright sunlight from a gorgeous pink sky dances across it. Cliffs tower above the beach. Look ground. Yeah, there's nothing here. And I'm guessing you won't get much of anything here either. And I do not want you going towards that water. I believe if you go into the water here, you will instantly die. And there's nothing else over here. And I'm pressing up to make sure that I go up. There we go. And there seems to be something on the ground here if we go north. There is a fishing net in a pile on the beach. Take net. You reach down and retrieve the fishing net. You gain 1 point. Okay. Well, there's not much we can do other than play around with this fishing net because these are the only 3 screens that we can go to. Also, there's a waterfall there. I need to remember to hold control when I backspace, so that way I don't go to the left accidentally. The lavender waterfall tumbles down from the towering cliffs. So as I was saying, there is only so much now that we can do. So I guess all we can do now is fish with the fishing net. You fish and fish and fish. However, no matter how hard you try, you don't seem to be able to catch anything. Let's do it again. You cast the fishing net into the wild sea. Upon retrieving it, you see you have caught a large golden fish. It falls from the net and flops helplessly on the beach. You gained 2 points. Let's get the fish. That fish is not happy. Let's get the fish now. You grab the flopping fish. Its mouth is wide open and its gills are extended. With difficulty, you hold the fish as it twists and turns in your hands. Look fish. The large fish is covered with shimmering golden scales. Its graceful fins and tail are almost translucent. Right now, the beautiful fish is writhing in agony. Well, we could eat the fish, but it's kind of raw. Let's go ahead and throw the fish back in. You throw the gaping, gasping fish back into the iridescent water. Gratefully, it calls to you, "In return for saving my life, I wish to offer you a ride across this ocean." You gain 3 points. So now this fish is waiting for us. What are we waiting for? Ride the fish. We gained another point. And that is a lot of purple and pink. Then again, we are in a weird new world here. How this is not killing Graham is anybody's guess, because the fish is just leaping in and out. I'm pretty sure this is a wild ride I would actually regret taking. Whoa. And you get thrown off by the fish right here on this island. We can't go back. If we get in the water, we will die. So, all we can do now is just explore the island for a little while. We're on the northwest corner of this island. You can see that the island is really quite small. The foliage is remarkable, though. Plants and flowers have overgrown it, some growing very large in contrast to the tiny island. Well, we might as well explore more. I mean, why not? I mean, there probably isn't going to be that much to explore anyway, and I want to be careful as I do things because we are surrounded by water on this tiny island. A glint of metal catches your eye. You look towards the direction of the glint and see an amulet lying on the ground. You want to take this amulet. We will need it very, very soon. You gain 3 points. Let's look at the amulet. You examine the amulet. It is made of bronze that is tarnished with age. A tiger's eye stone is embedded into the front. You turn the amulet over and see the word home engraved on the back. You want to keep that in mind very, very soon. And let's see here. Let's look around. And the description is exactly the same as it ever was. And there's not much to this either. You can't even go over to that island at all. Sadly. Look, island. This small island offshore has only a few bushes and one large creek growing on it. Don't even try to go there. You will drown as soon as you touch the water, because for some reason the water acts very wild and strong, and it immediately pulls you in. I just now remembered that. I remembered that the game explains away why the water kills you. The current is too strong. And as you can look around and see, by going around the island, there's not really much you can find beyond the water here. There is this tower, though. There is an opening there. We will look at it as soon as we explore the rest of the island. I do want to show that off, because this island does look rather nice, even if it is done in very primitive colors and lines and stuff. The colors feel very alien. Because of that, you really do have this feeling that you are in an alien world. Whether it's in the same dimension that we've always been in, or whether it's in another dimension or anything like that, it's hard to tell. The sky is orange, or in our case, pink. You got purple water. The sand is blue. And if we look around here, we will see the tower here. Look, door. The thick door is fashioned from a wood unknown to you. So even the trees are out of this world, rather. Whether they're in this world, but they're not from any world we know of. Look, tower. The tower is built of creamy, opaque quartz blocks. Interesting. You see a tiny window near the top. A delicate hand waving a hanky appears from the window. Could this be the woman that we were looking for in the magic mirror? Let's find out. Can we open the door? We can. And, oh boy. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Now, I want to be careful as I go through here. Just stay on the wall. Don't do anything dumb. And we are at the middle of this. As long as we stay near the gray area, we should be fine. Okay. Yeah, I have the strange feeling I'm going to die here. Whoa! Be careful! There is a huge lion with dripping fangs at the top of the stairs. He has a hungry look in his eye. Thankfully, we move very slowly. If we approach this lion, we're dead. Give meat to lion. Hungrily, the lion gobbles down the smoked ham which we found in Dracula's castle and falls asleep. You gain 4 points. So let's open the door. Thankfully, we don't need a key for this. I'd rather not even mess with that lion at this rate. And we are now at the top of this tower. You have found her, the girl from the magic mirror. She is even more beautiful than you had imagined. You gained 5 points. And there she is. We did it. We found the woman. But how do we take her home? Well, let's get to know her first, otherwise she probably won't even be going with us. You get no Tall girl. My name is Valenice. What is your name? That name should sound familiar to anybody who has played the King's Quest series before. My name is Graham. Oh, Graham, I am forever grateful to you. Kiss girl. Come closer, kind sir. And there it is. You tentatively embrace the beautiful girl. Your lips meet hers, and you are both in ecstasy. You're both in ecstasy. This was well worth playing the game for. And I want to do something real quick to ensure that we have what we're looking for. Just gonna check the points list real quick. I gotta do this. So we found the princess. 182 out of a possible 185. We did it. We've done everything that we were supposed to. Knew I would. I made sure of that. But how are we gonna get home? How are we going to get back to Daventry? With Valenice, obviously. Well, we have the amulet with the word home on it. Say home. You murmur the word home. A tingling sensation envelops your body. You black out for a second. When you come to, you see you are somewhere else. Congratulations, King Graham. You have won the hand of beautiful Valenice. May you two live happily ever after. And Valenice walks down the aisle. We somehow have our crown and a tuxedo. She's in a wedding dress. We have the monk doing the vows. He declares you man and wife. All the characters, both good and bad, including a somehow revived Dracula, and a shark from the ocean that we never swam in, watch us get married. And of course you have the fairy who shows up. I guess the protection spell makes for a good substitute for rice. That's good in case anybody here wants to double cross us after we get married. And this is the Castle of Daventry from the first game. I don't know how we got back here, but we did. Maybe Graham has a ship and it's not even mentioned. But we are now in the castle with Valenice. We are now married. We now have, hopefully, 185 out of 185. We did it, folks. If you enjoyed this game, ask your computer dealer for the retail availability of King's Quest 3 to err as human to really foul things up, taste computer. And we get the credits! So... Oh. You just get the first names. And of course we get the quality assurance team as well, which made sure this game worked like it was supposed to. Given that this was 1985, it definitely better should have. And that's it. This is all the names that we get. So how did this game stack up? Well, I know that this is Apple II. The graphics are pretty primitive, but this is 1985. This is what computer games pretty much kind of look like back in 1985, back when you kind of had to really... I wouldn't say that, but I'm pretty sure that Apple II was pretty accessible for anybody who had one. It took a little time because computers were a brand new thing to learn computers, but once you learn how to do some basic stuff, computers became awesome. Still are. I mean, you have to have a computer to make a Let's Play, obviously. I can kind of give these graphics a pass for looking like they do, because this is the mid-1980s. Home gaming was still kind of a relatively new thing, and computer games especially were a bit of a new thing as well. You did have the Apple II come out in 1978, and there were versions of the Apple II at that time, especially Apple IIe, which came out in 1983, 2 years before King's Quest II came out for the Apple II. But it wasn't really until Apple II that people really started to know about computers. It wasn't until at least the early 1980s in particular that people knew about computers. You had the Apple II, you had the Commodore 64, you had these ZX81, you had the ZX Spectrum, which came out in 1982. You had, what else? The BBC Micro. I know some of these are obviously Europe only, especially the BBC Micro, but the Western world as a whole, ordinary people like you and me were starting to learn about computers for the first time. They really started entering the mainstream thing. They started becoming mainstream. People started actually knowing about them for the first time. So therefore, stuff is very primitive. It was all we had. But you could still make it look good if you knew what you were doing. And it was enjoyable then, it's enjoyable now. I probably said more than I should have about the graphics, but hey. They are what they are. They're pretty good for their time. You can still tell what they are at times, even now. So I can't really be too harsh on them. And there's not a lot of music or sound in this game. You just get a bunch of beeps in the Apple II version. I can't really complain about that either. And the play control. Well, as long as you know what you're doing and you don't do anything too stupid, you can get through this game with the arrow keys. And if you can type pretty fast, you can give yourself a little bit of a heads up with typing in commands and some things. I don't really like the slowdown that this version has of this version of King's Quest II. There is, if anything's animated on the screen, there will be some slowdown. And it's just something you really, really have to get used to. But once you get used to it, it's alright. But I can understand if anybody has any complaints about slowdown happening while you're trying to get away from the dwarf or Hagatha or the enchanter or any dangerous enemy. Because the game does chug when you have more than one thing moving at the same time. But other than that, it is manageable. And I guess you could play this if you wanted to see if you remembered everything. Maybe waste some good time for like 30 minutes to an hour. Even see all the possible ways you can die, whether drowning in the ocean, getting eaten by a shark, or getting eaten by the lion who just immediately swallows you whole without even chewing, or going into the water in the alien New World where you find the tower where Valanice is in, getting eaten by Hagatha, getting bitten by Dracula, all that sort of stuff. And the fairy spell worn off while we're in the castle. That's something. Can we do anything? Okay, we basically can't do anything. As soon as we enter the castle, we can't do any more things except look at our inventory and just watch the credits roll. And watch the fairy spell run out. That's funny. But once you've beaten this game with all 185 points, except maybe to test your memory and probably remember how great this game is, there's not really much of a reason to play it again. I know that it is on other versions. There are other versions of the game on other computers, such as the Amiga, the Apple II GS, which has a completely different architecture from the rest of the Apple II family. There is the PC version. There is a remake that was made by some company whose name I can't remember. AGI Interactive or something. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Let me look it up real quick. Ah, yes, AGD Interactive. King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones. Where they changed some things up a bit. There's also, what is it? There's one for Macintosh, Atari ST, IBM PC Junior, the Personal Computer, and the Tandy 1000. So basically every computer there was, including a few of the micros that were popular in the UK and Europe. Mostly the 16-bit ones. And that's pretty much all I can say about this game. So is this game worth getting? Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't know what else to say. I mean, King's Quest is hard as it was. This game can be pretty hard too if you don't know what you're doing, and it is still possible to make the game unwinnable, but at least it's not as unforgiving as the first game. There's still ways to make the game unwinnable, but it's still a very enjoyable game. And that's pretty much all I have to say about King's Quest II. And that has been Let's Play King's Quest II, Romancing the Throne, for the Apple II. Enjoyed playing this game? Enjoyed playing a game for the Apple II platform? This was the first. Hopefully it will not be the last. Hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.